Hi there. Good day, students. I'm Sir Lemuel and I will be discussing with you about calculating decimals, percentages, bases, and rates in solving word problems. Let's first have a review about routine and non-routine word problems. So while watching this video, you will encounter different word problems, routine and non-routine word problems involving different operations of decimals, percentage, base, and rate. If you watched the earlier videos about using fractions, tsaka yung calculating and estimating with whole numbers, you have encountered there different word problems, routine and non-routine word problems. Okay? If you want to know more about routine and non-routine word problems, you may watch the videos about. You may watch the earlier videos. Okay? You will solve these problems using appropriate solving strategies and tools. Always remember, put yourself in each problem so that you can easily solve it. And lastly, enjoy and have fun solving. Okay? So here are the four steps in solving a word problem. Una ay yung see, plan, do, and look back. Kung napanood yun na yung dalawang video about problem solving, you already know this. Okay, I hope you're still not forgetting the concepts. Yung see, kunin agad yung what is asked, tsaka yung given. Tapos sa plan, aalamin na natin kung ano yung operation na gagamitin. Tapos yung plano natin sa solution. Tapos sa do, gagawin na natin yung solution na pinlano natin. Then look back, titingnan natin kung nag-satisfy siya dun sa what is asked. Okay? Next one. Now we will talk about decimals here. So I will show you a series of videos about decimals, understanding decimals, its involvement to fractions, then the operation of decimals. Okay? Please watch this video. Unahin muna natin yung understanding decimals.
Decimals. Good day, students. Previously, we learned about fractions. Let's have a quick review by writing down the fractions of these representations. Are you ready? Let us start. In the first one, we have 3 colored parts out of 10 equal parts. In fraction, that is 3/10. On the next one, we have 4 colored parts out of 10 equal parts. And that is 4/10. And finally, we have 5 colored parts out of 10 equal parts. And that is 5/10. Great job! But did you know that fractions can be written in another form? Yes, let's have an example. 3/10 can be written as 0.3. 4/10 can be written as 0.4. While 5/10 can be written as 0.5. These numbers are what we call decimals. Decimal is a fraction written in a special form where each digit represents different power of 10. Let's have an example. 3.5. Fractions.
Okay, stop tayo dun muna ha. Sinabi niya fractions but she talked about decimals. Okay, correction. This is an example of a decimal, not a fraction. Okay?
Has 2 parts. The first one is the number on the left part. They are called whole parts. While the number on the right part is called decimal parts. And the dot between the right and the left side is what we call decimal point. the decimal point separates the whole parts and decimal parts. Now let's have a review of the place values. As we all know, whole numbers have place values. The place value of 3 is ones. If we add another number, the place value is tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, million, and so on. Decimal part has place values as well. We call them decimal place values. The place value of the first digit on the right side is tens. The next one is hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, and so on. The number of decimal places is the number of digits to the right of a decimal point. Let's take a look at this example. 0.35. Let us count the decimal places. 1, 2. Therefore, 0.45 has 2 decimal places. Let's have another one. 0.5. Let's count the number of digits to the right of the decimal point. We have 1. Therefore, 0.5 has 1 decimal place. Last example, 0.451. Let's count the number of digits to the right of the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. Therefore, it has 3 decimal places. Now, how do we properly read decimals? Let's have an example. We usually read this decimal as like this: 35.451. But the proper way of reading this decimal is, first, we read the whole number. That is 35. We read the decimal point as end. And then, we read the decimal parts as 451 and add the place value of the last digit, which is 1. The place value of 1 is thousands. Therefore, we read these decimal as 35 and 451 thousandths. Let's have another example. 2.09. First, we read the whole number, which is 2, and then the decimal point as end, and the decimal part as 9. Let's add the place value of the last digit, which is 9. The place value of 9 is hundreds. Therefore, we read this decimal as 2 and 9 hundredths. Let's have last example. How do we read this decimal? Since there is no whole number, we proceed to the decimal parts. We have 306. And then, let's add the place value of the last digit, which is 6. The place value of 6 is very good. It is 10 thousandths. Therefore, we read this as 306 10 thousandths. Well done! What have you learned today? Comment it down below. See you next time!
So please remember the decimal places of decimal parts, okay? So here it is, simula sa tens, hundreds, thousands. So, paglayo ng decimal place sa decimal point, pagliit ng kanyang value. Unlike sa whole parts, pinakamaliit na place value is the ones. Palayo ng palayo sa decimal point ng whole part, paglaki ng value niya. Unlike dito sa decimal parts, paglayo ng decimal place dun sa decimal point, pagliit ng value niya. So, ibig sabihin, pinakamalaking place value sa decimal parts ay yung tenths. Okay? Now, let's have an example for this. I have here 8 and 5,625 10,000s. Tingnan natin yung 5. Okay, I have here a series of decimals. Tapos tingnan natin yung place value nung 5. Okay? So, in this case, yung unang 5 is nandun sa 10ths place. Then, yung ikalawang 5 nandun sa 10,000. So, alin kayang 5 ang mas malaki? As I have discussed earlier, paglayo ng decimal part, paglayo ng decimal place sa decimal point, ito lagi yung point of reference natin, yung decimal point. So, paglayo ng decimal place value dun sa decimal point, pagliit ng value niya. So, in this case, yung tenths place value, kung saan nandun yung 5, ay mas malaki dun sa 5 na nandun sa 10,000's place value. Okay? So, it is read as 8 and 5,625 10,000s. So, you read the whole number as is, then you read the decimal point as end, tapos i-read mo yung decimal as a whole number, then last mong babanggitin ay kung ano yung place value nung nandun sa pinakadulo ng decimal part. Okay, so this is read as 8 and 5,625, then the place value 10,000s. Okay, let's talk about the value of a decimal part. So let's have this una munang 0 and 5,432 10,000s. Let's look at number 5. It's located at the 10th place. So ibig sabihin, it's in the 10th place and its value is 5 tenths. The next one, yung ikalawa namang row, it's 0 and 2,543 10,000s. It's your choice if you wanna pronounce 0 or not. Pwede naman. Pwedeng 0 and 2,500 10,000s or simply 2,543 10,000s. Balikan natin yung 5. Yung 5 dito sa ikalawang decimal example natin ay nandun sa hundreds place. And it means that it is in the hundreds place and its value is 500s. So, yung kanina nasa 5 tenths, yung ngayon nasa 500s, alin ang mas malaki? So, technically, mas malaki yung nasa 5 tenths na 5. Okay, nasa tenths place na 5 kaysa dun sa nasa hundreds place na 5. Okay, next one. This is 2,453 10,000s. Nandun naman siya sa thousands place. So, its value is 5,000s. Yung 0.005. Sanay tayo ng ganun ang basa, diba? Pero actually, it is read as kung ano yung tinuro kanina dun sa video and as na 5,000s. Okay? Next one. 2,435 10,000s. So 5 is in the 10,000s place and its value is 5 10,000s. Okay, try nga daw natin siyang i-arrange from least to greatest. At least from arranging them, malalaman natin kung alin yung mas maliit tsaka yung mas malaki. Okay? Actually, we have two skills, diba, na tinuturo sa atin nung tayo ay nasa elementary days pa. Yung arranging them from least to greatest, from greatest to least, Tapos yung ikatlo, meron pang comparing and ordering. Yun na nga, involve yung least to greatest at greatest to least na arrangement dun sa ordering, di ba? Okay, if we will arrange them from least to greatest, tingnan natin yung tens place. Di ba ito yung value sa sa mga decimal parts. So if we will look at it, may pinakamalaking decimal place ay yung 5,400. Ay may pinakamalaking value dito ay yung 5,432 10,000s. Kasi if you will look at it, para silang 2, nag-iisa yung 5, edi pinakamalaki yung 5,432 10,000s. Then since ito ay pare-parehas sa tens place, we look at the next place value, yung hundredths place. So we have here 544, edi sunod na malaki itong 2,543. Ito. Okay? Then since pareha silang 4, we look at the thousands place. We have 5 and 3. So sunod na malaki yung susunod, dito sa 2,543 10,000s, itong 2,453 10,000s. Then yung pinakamaliit will be 2,435 10,000s. Okay? So when you are comparing and ordering fractions, maybe from greatest to least or least to greatest, start from looking at the biggest place value sa decimal parts, which is the tens place. Okay? Now, let's proceed to adding and subtracting decimals. I have here a video. Please watch this.
Addition and subtraction of decimals. Good day, students. Welcome back to my classroom. Today, you will learn how to add and subtract decimals with or without regrouping. Let us start. Let's try this first example. 32 hundredths plus 62 hundredths. First thing you need to know is to write the decimal numbers vertically. And make sure to align decimal points and digits with similar place values. Now, we are going to add or subtract the decimal numbers in the same way we add or subtract whole numbers, which is from right to left. Now let us add. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 6 is 9. And then, we need to align the decimal point of the sum or the difference from the decimal points above. There. And then, 0 plus 0 is 0. Our answer is 94 hundredths. Let's have another example. What is the sum of 352 thousandths and 67 hundredths? When we are looking for the sum, we are going to add. Now let us align the decimal numbers. Make sure that the decimal point and the digit with similar place values are aligned. Now let's add from right to left. Since there is an empty place value, we are going to put 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 7 is 12. Write 2, carry 1 to the next place value. 1 plus 3 plus 6 is 10. Very good. Write 0, carry 1 to the next place value. Put the decimal point aligned from above. And then 1 plus 0 is 1. Our answer is 1 and 22 hundredths. Find the sum of 68 and 7 and 67 hundredths. Again, when we are looking for the sum, we are going to add. You might be wondering, where is the decimal point of a whole number? The decimal point of whole numbers are found at the end of the whole number. Now let us align them vertically. Make sure that we align the decimal points. Let us put zeros to the empty place values. There. Now let us add. 0 plus 7 is 7. 0 plus 6 is 6. Write decimal point, align from the decimal points above. 8 plus 7 is 15. Write 5, carry 1 to the next place value. 1 plus 6 is 7. Our answer is 75 and 67 hundredths. Great job! Now let us try subtraction. First is, we need to align them vertically. Again, make sure that decimal points and digits with similar place values are aligned. Now let us subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. 9 minus 4 is 5. Let us put the decimal point aligned from the decimal points above. And then 0 minus 0 is 0. Our answer is 52 hundredths. Let's have another one. What is the difference of 532 thousandths and 29 hundredths? If we are looking for the difference, we need to subtract. First, let's align them vertically. Make sure again the decimal points are aligned. Let us subtract from right to left. Since there is an empty place value, let's put 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. 3 minus 9 is? Cannot be. We need to borrow from the next place value, which is 5. Let us borrow 1 from 5. 5 will be 4. And 3 will be 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. Next, 4 minus 2 is 2. Write the decimal point aligned from the decimal points above. And then 0 minus 0 is 0. Our answer is 242 thousandths. Let's have another example. Subtract 1 and 227 thousandths from 4 and 75 hundredths. Make sure that we align the decimal points and the same place values. Let us put 0 to the empty place value. 0 minus 7 is? Cannot be. Let us borrow 1 from 5. 5 will become 4. And 0 will become 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 4 minus 2 is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. Let's put the decimal point a line from above. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. Our answer is 3 and 523 thousandths. Great job! Here are the things that you learned today.
So in adding and subtracting decimals, you need to align first the addends or the numbers to be added or the numbers to be subtracted according to their decimal place value. Okay, dapat magkakatapat siya bago natin siya i-add or subtract. So let's apply this to a word problem. So Charlene wants to sew pretty pillowcases. She has 1 and 2800 meters of pink cloth, 1 and 562,000 meters of green cloth, and 459,000 meter of yellow cloth. Taken together, how many meters of cloth does Charlene have? So let's see. The problem asks for meters of cloth na meron si Charlene. Then she has here 3 types of cloth, the pink, the green, and the yellow one. So from that, we will from the keyword taken together, we will have to add them. Okay, that it's going to be our plan. We were going to add this 3 decimals. Okay, the sabi pa dun sa video, if there's a space, we put 0 there. Okay, then we proceed on adding. Make sure magkakatapat yung kanyang decimal place values before we add or subtract. Okay, so 2 plus 9 it's 0 plus 2 plus 9, it's 11, so we write 1 and we carry 1. Then 1 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5, that's going to be 20, so we write 0 and we carry 2. Then 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 4, that will be 2, 9, 5, 13. So we write 3 and we carry 1. Then 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's 3. Ibig sabihin, Charlene has 3 and 301 thousandths meters of cloth. Madali lang, di ba? Let's have another one. Flor bought 56 and 6,081 10,000 kilograms of mangoes to increase her stocks of the fruit. She now has 97 and 205 thousand kilograms of mangoes to sell. How many kilograms were on her stocks before adding her new stocks of mangoes? So let's see what the problem asks. Sabi dito, how many kilograms yung kanyang stock bago siya nagdagdag nung binili niya. And if she has bought 56 and 6,081 kilograms, tapos ngayon meron na siyang 97 and 205 kilograms. We will have to subtract them. Okay, let's now do it. So una muna, since there's a space, we will have to put 0 there. Then we proceed to subtraction. Okay, so 0 plus 1, this cannot be. We have to borrow 1 from 5, and 5 will become 4, and 0 will become 10. Now we can subtract it. 10 plus 1, that's 9. Then 4 minus 8 cannot be, so we borrow 1 from not 0 dun sa kasunod, because we cannot borrow anything from 0. So that will be 2 will become 1, and then 10 will become 9. Diba? Since naging 10 na siya, we can borrow 1 from it. Then 4 will become 14. So 14 minus 8, that will be 6. 9 minus 0, that will be 9. Then 1 minus 6 cannot be, so we borrow 1 from 7. 6. Then 1 become 11. 11 minus 6, that will be 5. Then 6 minus 6, that would be 0. 9 minus 5, that would be 4. So, ibig sabihin, flour has 40 and 5,969 kilograms. 40 and 5,969, 10,000 kilograms of mangoes before adding her new stocks of mangoes. Okay? So let's now watch a video about multiplication of decimals.
Multiplication of decimals. Good day, students. Welcome back to my classroom. For today's lesson, you are going to learn how to multiply decimals with or without regrouping. Let us start. Let's have this first example. 32 hundredths times 3 tenths. In multiplying decimals, it is different from adding and subtracting. Here, we don't have to align the decimal places. We are just simply going to multiply decimals like how we multiply whole numbers. At this point, disregard the decimal points. Let's multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 0 is 0. Since the next digit to 3 is 0, we don't have to multiply it. Now, is this our final answer? Not yet. We need to put the decimal point in the right place. The next step that we need to remember is the total number of decimal places in the factors should be the same in the product. Let us count the decimal places in the factors. 1, 2, and 3. Therefore, we need to put the decimal point in the product 3 decimal places from right. 1, 2, 3. There. Let's put 0. Now, this is our final answer. Let's have another example. What is the product of 352 thousandths and 17 hundredths? When we are looking for the product, it means we need to multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. Write 4, carry 1 to the next place value. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 1 is 36. Write 6, carry 3 to the next place value. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 3 is 24. Write 4, carry 2 to the next place value. 7 times 0 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. Next one. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 0 is 0. Since the next digit is 0, we don't have to multiply it. Now, let's add the products. 4. Bring down 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. 4 plus 5 is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. And bring down 0. Now remember, the total number of decimal places in the factors should be the same in the product. So let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, we are going to put the decimal point in the product 5 decimal places from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, and let's put 0. Now, this is our final answer. Let's try another one. 32 hundredths times 1 tenths. And multiplying decimals by 1 tenths or 100ths. The first thing that we need to do is to copy the factor multiplied by 1 tenths or 100ths, including the decimal point. There. And then the next step is the number of decimal places in 1 tenths or 100 means the number of decimal places you move the point to the left. Since 1 tenths has 1 decimal place, therefore, we are going to move the decimal point 1 place to the left. There! Let's add 0. Now this is our answer. Let's have another one. 32 hundredths times 1 hundredths. Let's copy first 32 hundredths. Since 1 hundredths has 2 decimal places, therefore, we need to move the decimal point 2 decimal places to the left. 1, 2. Let's put 0 to the empty decimal place. There you go. Now this is our answer. How about this one? Let's try 47 hundredths times 10. In multiplying decimals by 10 or 100, first thing that we need to do is to copy the factor multiplied by 100 or 10. Let's copy 47 hundredths. Now, the next step that we need to remember is the number of zeros in 10 or 100 means the number of decimal places you move the point to the right. Since 10 has 1 0, we are going to move the decimal point 1 place to the right. 1. There. Let's just remove 0. Now our answer is 4.7 or 4 and 7 tenths. Let's have another example. How about this one? 47 hundredths times 100. First, let us copy 47 hundredths. Since 100 has 2 zeros, we are going to move the decimal point 2 decimal places to the right. 1, 2. And then let us just simply remove 0 and the decimal point. There. Now our answer is 47. Great job! Here are the things that you learned today.
Okay, that's how you multiply decimals. Let's now apply it to a word problem. Now, here it is. Alvin weighs 32 and 53 hundredths kilograms. So Dino weighs 1 and 2 hundredths times as Alvin's weight. So what is Dino's weight? So there's the keyword there na times. So let's see. What is asked ay yung Dino's weight. Tapos nakalagay doon, Dino weighs 1 and 200 times as Alvin. And ang weight ni Alvin ay 32 and 5300 kilograms. Okay, let's multiply them. So 32 and 5300 times 1 and 0 200s. So let's start with 2. 2 times 3, that's 6. 2 times 5, that's 10. Write 0, carry 1. 2 times 2, that's 4. Then plus 1, that's 5. 2 times 3, it's 6. Then since the second digit, yung digit doon sa tens place ay 0, we just put 4 zeros there. Kasi any number naman na i-multiply sa 0, it will be 0. Okay? Then, the next digit sa hundreds place ay yung 1. Since any number multiplied by 1 ay yung number, kopyahin na lang natin tong 3253. Okay, then we will add them. So our answer is 6, bring down 6, 0 plus 0, 0, 5 plus 3, 8, 6 plus 0 plus 5, 1, carry 1, 1 plus 0 plus 2, that's 3, bring down 3. So, after this, we look at the decimal places dun sa ating mga numbers na minultiply. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we will move the decimal point from sa dulo 4 places pa kaliwa. So, our decimal point will be here, and our answer is 33 and 1,806 10,000s. Ibig sabihin, Dino's weight is 33 and 1,806 10,000 kilograms. Okay? Let's now proceed to division of decimals. So, I want you to watch this video for us to understand it.
Division of decimals. Great day, students! Welcome back to another lesson. Today, you will learn how to divide decimals or mixed decimals by whole numbers and vice versa. Let us start. First, let's have a quick review on the parts of division. The first number or the number being divided is called the dividend. The second number or the number that divides the dividend is called divisor. The answer is called quotient. And there is the remainder. Same thing in our long division method. The number we find inside is the number being divided, which is the dividend. The number that we put outside is the number that divides the dividend, which is the divisor. And our answer is on top, which is the quotient. And the number below is the remainder. Now that you know the parts of division, let's get ready to our lesson. Let's try this first example. 12 divided by 0.6 or 6/10. Here, in our first example, we are dividing a whole number by a decimal. But first, let's write it down in a long division form. There. Now our first step is, we need to change the divisor to a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right until it becomes a whole number. We need to remember the number of times we move the decimal point to the right. So let us count. 1. There. At this point, 0.6 become 0.6. We can already remove 0 to make it 6. There. Now our second step is, we move also the decimal point of the dividend the same number of times we move the divisor's decimal point, and we annex 0 as needed. But where is the decimal point of a whole number? The decimal point of a whole number is at the end of the number. There. Now, since we move one time in the divisor's decimal point, we are also going to move the decimal point of the dividend one time to the right. Let's count. 1. Since there is an empty decimal place, let's put 0. There you go. Now 12 became 120. Now here, we are dividing 120 by 6. The next step is we place the decimal point directly above the dividend before dividing. There you go. Now, it's time to divide like how we divide whole numbers. 120 divided by 6. Since we cannot divide 1 by 6, let's get 12. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down 0. 0 divided by 6 is 0. 0 times 6 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Now our answer is 20. Since it's a whole number, we can already remove the decimal point. Now let's have another example. Let's write it down in a long division form. There. Remember, our first step is to change the divisor into a whole number. Let's move the decimal point to the right. Let us count. 1, 2. Now at this point, we can already remove 0. Since we moved 2 times the divisor's decimal point, we are also going to move the decimal point of the dividend 2 times to the right. Let us count. 1, 2. Since there are empty decimal places, let us put 0. There you go. Next is, let's put the decimal point directly above the dividend before dividing. There. Now here, we are dividing 8,400 by 15. Let's divide. 84 divided by 15 is 5. 5 times 15 is 75. 84 minus 75 is 9. Let's bring down 0. 90 divided by 15 is 6. 6 times 15 is 90. 90 minus 90 is 0. Let's bring down 0. 0 divided by 15 is 0. 0 times 15 is 0. Now 0 minus 0 is 0. Since our answer is a whole number, we can already remove the decimal point. Now our answer is 560. Now let's have another one. This time we are going to divide a decimal by a whole number. 4.1 divided by 2. Since the divisor is already in a whole number, there's no need for us to move the decimal points. We are just simply going to divide this like how we divide whole numbers. But first, let's put the decimal point directly above the dividend. There. Now let's divide. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Let's bring down 1. 1 divided by 2 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Since there is still a remainder in dividing decimals, we need to add zeros in the dividend. There. Now let's bring down 0. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. Since there is no more remainder, our answer is 2.05 or 2 and 5 hundredths. Great job! Let's have another example. At this time, we are going to divide a decimal by a decimal. 20.1 divided by 0.15. Since our divisor is a decimal, we are going to change it into a whole number. Let's move the decimal point to the right. Let's count. 1, 2. Now we can remove the zeros. Since we moved 2 times in the divisor, we are also going to move 2 times in the dividend. Let's count. 1, 2. Since there is an empty place value, let's put 0. There you go. Next, let us put the decimal point directly above the dividend. Now it's dividing time. 2010 divided by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. Let's bring down 1. 1 divided by 5 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down 0. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. Since there is no more remainder, our final answer is 402. Great job, students! Here are the things that you learned today.
Okay, that's how you divide decimals. Don't forget na gawin mo ng whole number yung divisor by moving the decimal point until it becomes a whole number. Then kung ilang beses pong minove yung decimal point sa divisor, ganun din yung bilang na i-move mo yung decimal point sa dividend. Okay? Now then, the process becomes just like a normal division. Now, let's apply it to a word problem like this. So Joy has 3 and 3600 kilograms of cashew nuts. She wanted to give these cashew nuts to her friends in school. How many packs measuring 1200 kilograms can she make out of it? So if we will look at the word problem, ilang pack 12 kilograms can she make from that 3 and 3600 kilograms of cashew nuts? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nating hatiin yung 3 and 3600 kilograms of cashew nuts ni Joy sa tig to 1200 kilogram. Okay? So, how we will solve that? So, we will divide 12 hundredths to 3 and 36 hundredths kilograms. So first thing, we need to move the decimal point ng divisor hanggang maging whole number siya. From 12 hundredths, we will move 2 times to the right. So that will be 12. Then 2 times dito sa dividend, so magiging 336 siya. Okay? Now we proceed to normal division. Yung DMSBR, if you can remember dun sa video natin ng calculating and estimating with whole numbers. If you forgot that, pwede mo balikan yung video, then balik ka dito afterwards. So, we will do 33 divided by 12 muna. Since the divisor has two digits, so we will take 2 digits muna dun sa dividend. Then, 12 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 12 is 24. Then we subtract 33 minus 24, that will be 9. Then we bring down 6. 96 divided by 12, that will be 28. And 8 times 12, that will be 96. Then 96 minus 96 is 0. We don't have another digit to bring down, so our final answer is 28. Ibig sabihin, Joy can make 28 packs of cashew nuts from her 3 and 3600 kilograms of cashew nuts. Okay? So I hope you understood what decimals are, how they are being subtracted, multiplied, and divided. Okay? Pwede mong balik-balikan yung mga concepts if you still have a hard time understanding them. Okay? Ang mahalaga, you have the urge. Meron kang motivation para matutunan siya. Kasi kakailanganin natin to hanggang siguro after college, meron pa rin tayo ma-encounter ng mga gantong concept. Same with the other topics na ituturo namin sa inyo. Itinuro at ituturo. Okay? So, don't forget Now, let's proceed to percentage, base, and rate. Again, I have here a video about them, so please watch this video.
Percentage, rate, and base. Good day, students. Welcome back to another lesson. Today, we will learn how to find a percentage, rate, or base in a given problem, and solve problems involving finding the percentage, rate, and base. Let us start. Let's say I am selling a bag which costs 500 pesos, but I decided to put it on sale with 50% off. Now, how much is the discount? To get the discount, we need to get the 50% of 500 pesos. As we all know, 50% means half. This means that we need to get half of 500 pesos. Do you know what is 50% or half of 500 pesos? Wow, great job! You are right. It is 250 pesos. This means that the 50% of 500 pesos is 250 pesos. Now in this given statement, 50% is the rate. Rate is also called percent, which has percent sign. While 500 pesos is the base. The base is the entire or original amount, which usually comes after the word off. And finally, we have the percentage. 250 is the percentage. Percentage is the part or portion of the base which usually beside the word is. This statement can also be written as 250 pesos is 50% of 500. To identify the rate, base, and percentage here, let's take a look. If the number is beside the word is, that is the percentage. While 50% has percent sign, That means that is the rate. And 500 comes after the word of. That means that is the base. Very good. Now, did you know that the word of also represents multiplication, while the word is represents equal symbol? This means that rate times base equals percentage. That gives us 50% times 500 pesos equals 250 pesos. Now for us to get the rate, base, and percentage in a problem, let us use the following formulas. To get the percentage, we need to multiply the rate and the base. That gives us the formula P equals R times B. Now to get the rate, we need to divide the percentage by the base. And the formula is R equals P divided by B. And lastly, to get the base, let us divide percentage by the rate. So our formula is B equals P divided by R. For us to easily remember the formulas, we can use this triangle. If we are only looking for percentage, you may cover by your hand the letter P, which gives us R times B. If the missing term is the rate, simply cover letter R. That leaves us P divided by B. And lastly, for the base, the formula is P divided by R. Wonderful! Now you are ready to solve some problems. Let's try our first example. What is 20% of 300? The first thing that we need to do is to identify the missing term. We all know that if the value or the number has percent sign, that is the rate. And the number which comes after the word of is the base. That means the missing term is the percentage, which is beside the word is. Now, let us write the formula. Let's use our triangle. To get percentage, we will multiply rate to the base. P equals R times B. 20% times 300. The next step is to convert or change the rate or the percent into decimal. To change the percent into decimal, let's change percent sign into a decimal point. There you go. Now, let us move the decimal point 2 times to the left. 1, 2. There you go. Now 20% is now 0.20. Now you are ready to multiply. 300 times 0.20. 0 times 300 is 0. 2 times 300 is 600. Now let's add. That gives us 6,000. Now since we have 2 decimal places here, let us move the decimal point 2 times to the left. There. Now our final answer is 60. Therefore, 20% of 300 is 60. Great job. Let's try another. What percent of 24 is 12? Again, let's identify first the missing term. Since 24 comes after the word of, that is our base. And 12, which comes after or beside the word is our percentage. And obviously, the missing here is the percent or the rate. Now let's write the formula. R is equals P over B, or P divided by B. That means to get the rate, we need to divide 12 by 24. Now let's divide. 12 divided by 24. Since we cannot divide 12 by 24, let's add 0.0. There. Now we have 120 divided by 24. Let's put first the decimal point a line from the decimal point in the dividend. Now 120 divided by 24 is 5. 5 times 24 is 120. 120 minus 120 is 0. Now to get the percent or the rate, we need to change the decimal to percent. Here, to change decimal to percent, we are going to move the decimal point 2 times to the right. 1, 2. Since there is a missing place value, let's put 0. Now let us change the decimal point to percent sign. Now our answer is 50%. This means that 50% of 24 is 12. Wonderful! Alright, we have another one right here. Again, let's identify the missing term. Again, we all know that the one which has percent sign is the rate, while the number beside the word is the percentage. And the value or the term that comes after the word of is the base. This means that we are looking for the base. Now let's write the formula. Again, let's use our triangle. Since we are looking for the base, this means that we need to divide percentage by the rate. This gives us the formula B is equals P divided by R. Now 15 divided by 20%. Again, before we divide this, we always need to change the percent into decimal. Let us change the percent sign to decimal point and move the decimal point 2 times to the left. Very good. 1, 2. That gives us 0.20. Now it's dividing time. 15 divided by 0.20. Let us recall how do we divide whole number by decimals. We need to make the divisor a whole number. Let's move the decimal point to the right. Since we move 2 times to the right, we are also going to move 2 times to the right in the dividend. 1, 2. Since we have empty place values, let's just put zeros. Now we are ready to divide. 150 divided by 20. 7. 7 times 20 is 140. 150 minus 140 is 10. Since we still have 0, let's bring down 0. 100 divided by 20 is 5. 5 times 20 is 100. That gives us 0. Now our answer is 75. The number 15 is 20% of 75. Here are the things that you learned today.
Okay, I hope you understood the concept of the percent, rate, and base from the video. Now let's apply it to word problems. Number 1, there are 40 pupils in a class. 75% of them are present. How many pupils are present? How many pupils are absent? So let's see what the problem is seeking from us. So, ang hinihingi niya ay ilan yung present at ilan yung absent dun sa 40 pupils. Tapos sabi dun sa mga given, 40 pupils in a class, then 75% of them are present. So, ibig sabihin, kung 75% ang present, ilang percent yung absent? 25%. So, that's taking us a hint. Diba? Kung saan na tayo papunta. Alam na natin kung ilang percent yung present, ilang percent yung absent. Now, let's plan. So, we will make the statement muna. So, 75% of the 40 pupils are present. So, i-identify muna natin alin yung percentage, alin yung rate. Sabi dito sa video, kapag may percent sign, that is considered as the rate. Then, yung malapit dun sa word na of, which is the 40 pupils, that will be our base. Then, tas yung malapit dun sa is or sa are, so yun yung word na present, that will be our percentage. Okay? So, we have identified the rate, the base, and the percentage. Basta tandaan nyo lang yung keywords na of tsaka yung is and are. And usually, ang base ay mas malaki sa percentage. So, now, let's proceed to identifying the formula. Since ang nawawala ay percentage, so from our triangle, we need to multiply the rate and the base. So, percentage equals rate times base. So that will be P equals 75% times 40. Then we need to change 75% into a decimal by moving the decimal point 2 times to the left. So we have 75 hundredths times 40. So that will be, since we have 40 here and 75 hundredths at 0 yung una nating ipang multiply. And as we can remember, diba, any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So we just have to bring that down. Kasi 0 naman yung magiging final answer. Then the next one is we multiply it by 4. So 4 times 5, that's 20. We write 0, we carry 2. Then 7 times 4, that's 28. Plus 2, we have 30. We write 0, then we carry 3. Then 4 times 0 is 0 plus 3, we have 3. Then we just have to move yung decimal point, since we have 2 decimal places from 75 hundredths, so we will move 2 decimal places dun sa ating answer. So we have 30. So ibig sabihin, 30 pupils are present. Then since we have 40 pupils, we just subtract it. 40 minus 30, so ibig sabihin 10 pupils are absent. Okay? Same with, di ba kanina we identified that 25% of them are absent. If we will multiply 40 times 25, the answer is also 10. Okay? Basta first things first, we need to identify which is the rate, which is the base, and which is the percentage. Okay? Let's have another one. There are 2,480 fruits in Aling Floor's, of which 868 of them are mangoes. So how many percent are mangoes? So from the question itself, so we need to find the percent. And we have the given 2,480 fruits and 868 are mangoes. Now let's make a statement muna para ma-identify natin yung percentage, base, and rate. So, what percent of 2,480 fruits are 868 mangoes? So, ibig sabihin, what percent, this is the do part, yung ating rate. Kasi percent. Then, katabi ng of, yung malapit sa of, that will be our base. So, that's 2,480 fruits. Tas yung is or yung are, yung malapit sa is or malapit sa are, that will be our percentage. Okay? So, ang nawawala ay rate. Kasi what percent? So, from our triangle, we need to divide percentage by the base. Okay? So, our formula will be rate equals percentage divided by the base. So, that will be 868 divided by 2,480. So, we're gonna use long division for this. So, since mas maliit yung ating dividend na 868, we need to include a decimal point. Ibig sabihin, our answer will be a decimal which is less than 1. So, I already put 0 there. Kasi 868 divided by 2,480, that's 0. Okay? Now, let's put 0 there katabi nung 868. So, that will be 8,680 divided by 2,080. So, we have 3. Then, 3 times 2,480, that's 7,440. You may use a calculator. Then, 8,680 minus 7,440, that will be 1,240. Since we still have 1,240, let's add another 0. Then we bring it down. So we have 12,400 divided by 2,480. That will be 5. Then 5 times 2,480, we have 12,480. Then we subtract them. Our answer is 0. So our final answer is 3,500s, or if we translate them to percent, we have 35%. Okay, ibig sabihin, 35% of the fruits are mangoes. Okay? Next one. Cesar has 72 foreign stamps in his collection. If this is 16% of his collection, how many stamps does he have in his total collection? So let's see. The question is, how many stamps does he have in his total collection? This is what is asked. Then the given, he has 72 foreign stamps. Tapos sabi niya, yung 72 foreign stamps is 60% of his collection. So, is, yung 72 foreign stamps is 60%. So, definitely, yung my percent sign will be our rate. Then, yung malapit sa is yung 72 foreign stamps of his collection. So, of his collection, ang nawawala ay yung bilang kung ilan yung kanyang stamp collection. So, let's make a statement muna about that. Our statement will be 16% of Christian stamps is 72 foreign stamps. So, 16% will be our rate. Then, Christian stamps na malapit sa off will be our base. And yung is 72 foreign stamps will be our percentage. Okay? So, from our triangle, we need to divide percentage and the rate. So, our formula will be base equals percentage divided by the rate. Okay? So, that will be 72 divided by 16%. So, kailangan naman nating palitan yung to turn the percent, yung 68% into a decimal, that will be 1600s. Now, let's divide. 72 divided by 1600s. Remember to make the divisor into a whole number by moving the decimal point. Kung ilang beses mong minove yung decimal point sa divisor, that will be the number of times na i-move mo siya sa dividend. Okay, so we move 2 times para paging 16. Then we move 2 times sa dividend, so magkakaroon ng dalawang 0. Okay? So 72 divided by 16, we have 4. 4 times 16, we have 64. 72 minus 64, that will be 8. Then we bring down the next digit, which is 0. 80 divided by 16, that will be 5. 5 times 16, that will be 80. Then our answer is 0. Since we have another digit there, we still need to bring it down kahit 0 siya. Then we divide it, same process. 0 divided by 16, that will be 0. 0 times 16, that will be 0. And 0 minus 0 is 0. So, ibig sabihin, we have 450 dun sa stamps. Ibig sabihin, Christian has a total collection of 450 stamps. Okay? I hope you get a grasp dun sa concept ng rate, base, and percentage, as well as dun sa decimal. Because in solving a word problem, kailangan nating isa puso ito. Diba? We're not just mere adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing the decimals, or identifying alin yung percentage rate at base. We still need to know what is asked, ano yung given, ano yung operation na gagamitin. Diba? Hindi naman porke ang topic ay decimal, ay adding decimals na lang ang gagawin natin. Diba? There are some word problems that involve other operations. Okay? So now, I need you to turn to your activity sheets. Answer yung nandun sa using fractions, decimals, ratios, and rates na activity sheet. Okay? So, thank you for listening and have fun solving.